The Perry County Ambulance Service is officially in its new location. The process community leaders used to secure the new location coming up. And actors involved in the making of Hillbilly Elegy say the movie could be a representation of political unity. Why the controversial movie is also an example of different political thinkers working together.
And we're seeing more rain push through eastern Kentucky. Temperatures right now are in the 70s and 80s. But how long will the rain chances last? I'll have the answer in a few minutes.
Mountain News, first at 4, continues.
The new location of the Perry County Ambulance Authority will help expand services in the county, but it did not come without a few hiccups along the way. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares how officials were able to make it happen.
City, county, and state officials gathered to celebrate the Perry County Ambulance Authority's new location. For several years, officials have been working to find a bigger space for them to operate out of. However, funding was needed to support the facility. Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander says they were able to work with the city and state leaders to support the new location.
Then we worked with their state partners as well. We always chase grant dollars and go after grants to make great projects like this happen. It's the only way we could afford projects such as this is to have grant dollars supplement local general fund dollars to see that projects like this come to completion.
Medical Director Dr. Bart Francis says while they are happy to be operating here, their ultimate goal is to have 2 locations. In Perry County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say the convenience of the new location will also help lessen the wear and tear on the vehicles and cut costs on gasoline.
All right, we are getting some early rainfall totals into the First Alert Weather Center. Let's go ahead and take a look at those right now. Williamsburg since midnight has picked up 2,100ths of an inch. Middlesboro picked up 300ths of an inch. Prestonsburg picked up 100ths of an inch. And you can see towards the Jackson area, it's showing 0. We did see a little bit of rain earlier. So some of these numbers have not updated as of yet. We will get the final totals coming in, and I'll have those tonight at 11. Here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see that rain pushing through eastern Kentucky, and there's plenty more where this is coming from. You can see over towards the Columbia area just to the west of eastern Kentucky, and you can see that line of showers and thunderstorms pushing through portions of Kentucky at this hour, and this is something we'll be keeping an eye on over the next several hours. Right now, though, we're seeing temperatures in the 70s and 80s. We're at 77 in Hazard, 81 in Jackson. Same story in Prestonsburg as well as Pikeville, Clintwood, and Wise, seeing a temperature of 73 degrees. Now, the next 12 hours keeps temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s by 7 p.m. By the time you join us tonight at 11, we'll see a temperature of 74. And then as we go to the 5 o'clock time frame, we'll see temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s. I'll have your complete First Alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Since J.D. Vance was nominated as vice president on the Republican ticket, his memoir-turned-movie has shot up the most watched list on Netflix. The movie tells the story of J.D. Vance's life through his eyes, particularly his mother's drug addiction and his grandmother's help in raising him. In what has already been a contentious election cycle, one actress says that she looks to the story told in the movie, directed by Ron Howard, and the production of the movie itself to show that people with political differences can still work together.
He decided that politically they were different, but he wanted to tell the story. And to me, it's hope that we can be different. We can have different opposing political views, but come together for things that are important. So that gives me hope.
According to Business Insider, the film reached the #4 spot on Netflix after Vance was named the GOP vice presidential nominee. UNICEF is calling for an end to the killing and maiming of children in the Israel and Hamas war. Officials say a total of 143 Palestinian children have been killed in the West Bank since October of last year. That's a spike of nearly 250% compared to the preceding 9 months. Officials say more than 440 Palestinian children have also been injured with live ammunition. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told families of hostages held in Gaza that a deal to secure their loved ones' release could be nearing. That's according to officials with his office. Efforts to reach a Gaza ceasefire deal, which were outlined by President Biden in May and mediated by Egypt and Qatar, have gained momentum during the past month. On Friday, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said negotiators were driving toward the goal line. Netanyahu is headed to the U.S. for a scheduled visit to Washington. His visit comes just days after President Biden announced he would not be running for a second term and amid Israel's ongoing war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli leader is due to address both houses of the U.S. Congress tomorrow, as well as speaking privately with President Biden in a meeting tentatively scheduled for mid to late week. Coming up on First at 4, it might just be July, but that has not stopped retailers and shoppers alike from beginning their preparations for December. We'll take a look at what toy experts say could top the list this year.
All right, weather headlines for today. Thunderstorm chances will continue for your Wednesday. We'll see a weak cold front swing through, and then the upper 80s, they make a return. I'll tell you when in a few minutes.